You've presented this report, Putin's War, and what are the main findings? What is something the most important you want to make with this report for the Russian audience, as I understand?
For all this time of conflict between Russia and Ukraine, Putin says every day, every month that there are no Russian troops in Ukraine. And we try to show to Russian society that it's not true. And we tried to collect all the proofs of Russian soldiers in Ukraine in this book, in this report. And we try to show to Russian society that Putin is a liar. And we try to show to Russian society that this Putin's activity in Ukraine, it's a damage for Russian politics, it's damage for Russian economics, and it's damage for Russia and for pockets of Russian citizens. And we're trying to show to Russian society that it's a damage for Russian national interests.
And what is the perception? I know you went to Novgorod, and how difficult is to spread it in Russia?
Actually, it's the first step of our campaign, and now it's not very difficult because we speak with journalists, with activists, and it's okay because we have no discussion yet. Yes, we had some debates, but we have no big discussion with Russian people yet. But we will have it. Now we're trying to collect money to print lots of this report, and we will ask our volunteers, our activists to go to the Russian cities, to go to the Russian streets and speak with people, show this report to people and ask to read it. And it will be a very difficult discussion, I understand it very well, but it is the most important goal of us. We're trying to change Putin's politics with changing of Russian public opinion. We're trying to change public opinion first of all.
And what do you think is it dangerous? And are there any obstacles? Aren't you afraid?
It can be dangerous, but so I don't think I look scared, I understand that there are a lot of risks in this campaign, and I understand that there are a lot of risk for our volunteers, but we're trying to be honestly with our people, and we say that you have risk, but it's very important work. It's very important for Russia, it's very important for Russian future, it's very important for Russian society to open our eyes on this problem, on this conflict, and trying to change what's happening in Ukraine.
Besides everything, which is a lot about the, for instance, Russian soldiers which are dead, so there are the victims among the Russian citizens in this war, but as well there is information about the finance, which probably would have a more impact, I wonder. So how much the war with Ukraine cost for Russia? How do you estimate that?
It's very difficult to calculate all the economic damage, but we try to do this with the help of the Russian economist Sergei Alexashenko. He was he's one of the biggest Russian economists, and he tried to calculate this economic damage. We see that it's damage for Russian budget about $53 billion. We see that there are a lot of damage for Russian economics because of sanction war. And interesting thing that the Western sanctions have a damage for Russian economics, and Putin's sanctions against West make a damage for Russian economics too. And we're trying to show to Russian people that all this war make a damage for Russian economic and for pockets and money of all Russian people.
one of the part of it also about who runs Donbas. We knew that there were a year ago a lot of in fact Russian citizens who were in the key position in Lugansk, in Donetsk. Now later they were replaced by the locals, but what are your evidence how it's run this day? How the Kremlin influences these people? What is the evidence and the proof for that?
We see that there is an external management from Moscow in Donbass, and we see that even the local separatists just under control of Moscow politicians and Moscow authority, and we're trying to show it and make a proof of it. We see there are a lot of Russian political technologists in Donbas region. We see how it works, and we're trying to tell about this to Russian society, because many people in Russia think that there are just Donbas people trying to fight for their rights, and Moscow just supports it in moral way. But actually, it's not true.
What is the role of Vladislav Surkov?
Very big role, and Surkov he is one of the key person in this process, and I believe that one day he should be under arrest for this.
And what is the situation with the investigation of the murder and assassination of Boris Nemtsov so far?
Today there are a number of people under arrest, and we believe that the killer, the person who killed Boris Nemtsov, is under arrest. It's a person from Chechen battalion names North. Actually, it's a personal Kadyrov guard. We do not see that investigators have an authority to get the person who orders this murder. We understand that they should find these people in Chechnya region. We understand that the key witness in this murder is Ramzan Kadyrov, and we believe that Ramzan Kadyrov can be in front of the people who killed Nemtsov. But we do not see that they can do anything against Kadyrov. For Putin, Kadyrov is a very dangerous person. It's a person who have very big power.
How comes, Putin somehow has created Kadyrov? Why?
Kadyrov and the modern Chechnya, it's a result of Putin's politics on the Caucasus region. Actually, we have now independent states into Russia. And Russian constitution, Russian laws doesn't work in Chechnya. And actually, Kadyrov is only one person in Russia who can talk with Putin equally.
What are you able to do with this high level of support of Putin these days?
There are many examples when the dictator who has very high support lost his power immediately. There are lots of examples in this in people's history. We should do what we should do. We should go to the people, we should tell the truth, and we should wait our chance. I believe that one day the history will give us a chance, and we will realize it.
The people who kind of oppose, they say, not the Putin supporters, but many the others said that, the Russian opposition is very weak, they are not well organized, they can't propose anything real apart from let's get rid of Putin. What will you say on that?
These people looks like the person who come to the Germany of 1945 by the time machine. And these people come to Berlin and say, where are all the Jews? Where are the Jews? So it's very strange. I cannot see no Jews in Berlin, in Germany of 1945. Putin are fighting with opposition. It's a big risk to be in a public opposition activist in Russia. We are under pressing, we are under pressure, we are under police pressure, we are under administrative pressure. The leader of Russian opposition is dead just near the Kremlin. And of course it's very difficult to make something in Russia Putin do not support. But we try to do this, and we believe that one day we will have a chance to do something for our country. And we try to do something for our country these days. It's very difficult, but you should understand that we are Russian patriots, and all we do with these reports, with all our activities, it's just for Russia. It's just for Russian national interests in our point of view. And we believe that one day people will open their eyes and understand what's really happening in our country, and the situation will change.
And my final, so what are your solutions for resolving Ukrainian-Russian conflict at this moment?
I believe that it's very important to show for Russia to show to Ukrainian society that there are a lot of people who do not support Putin politics in Ukraine. And it's very important that on the March of Peace came really a lot of people, tens of thousands. And it's very important to Ukrainian society to understand that in Russia, lots of people who respect Ukraine, who respect Ukrainian independence, and who do not want Ukrainian territory from one side. But from the other side, it's very important for Ukrainian society to show to Russian society, to show to Russians that you are not Russophobic, and to show to Russians that your criticize of Putin doesn't mean you hate Russians. And it can be the first step to good relation between our country, to normalize relations between our country.